A low, solitary bass drum beats inside a darkened sound chamber. Within seconds, unseen voices join. Yoruba praise chant meets Scottish bagpipe drone. Then a metal pick strikes a Brazilian berimbau. The mashup shouldn't work, yet the pulse is magnetic. As the camera glides across old vinyl sleeves curling like ancient scrolls, a whisper threads through the mix. If you want to know a nation's heart, listen to its noise. In 30 seconds, curiosity becomes gravity. Something vast and unfinished stirs in the echo. Love what you're watching. Scan the QR to join the community. A single match flares, revealing shelves packed with shellac, tape reels, MP3 drives, centuries of captured vibration. Our narrator steps into frame, fingers dusted with powdered oxide. Every flag has a melody, she begins, and every silence a secret cadence. The room brightens, morphing into a map made of waveforms. From the Arctic Circle to Cape Town's beaches, pulses arc like electrical storms. We are about to ride them. We start with the drum, because the drum is older than borders. Anthropologists at Blombos Cave carbon-dated bone flutes to 90,000 years, but the hollowed log preceded even that. Africa's first wireless network. Among the Asante of Ghana, talking drums mimicked tonal language so precisely that messages skipped villages faster than riders on horseback. The British, disoriented, banned the drums in 1900. Within weeks, resistance songs migrated to church harmoniums. Silencing rhythm only changed its timbre, never its intent. Cue archival footage of 1957 Accra. Highlife bands ring in Ghana's independence with electric guitars, Cuban horns, and Akan proverbs. E.T. Mensah's Ghana Freedom blares from portable radios built in Manchester, carried by schoolchildren in Cape Coast. A scholar's voiceover explains how swing rhythms and syncopated claves, once imported luxuries, became sonic proofs that a new Black Republic could bend cosmopolitan flair to local pride. Cut to the Mississippi Delta, same decade. Muddy Waters plugs into a Chicago amplifier, sending cotton field blues crackling across the color line. Journalist Studs Terkel called it the shout of men who built America but could not vote in it. Civil rights footage rolls, marchers in Selma singing, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round," their tempo matching footsteps to tear gas intervals. A historian notes the deliberate major key lift, suffering framed as certain triumph, not dirge. The documentary pivots to Moscow, 1941. Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony, composed under Nazi siege, debuts on battered loudspeakers while artillery booms outside the concert hall. Soviet authorities brand it the Leningrad Symphony, a rallying cry that fuses classical discipline with street corner folk motifs. For citizens queuing for bread, each swelling brass chord insists that personal hunger feeds collective endurance. Back in Africa, we land in Cape Town, 1988. Johnny Clegg and Savaka perform Asimbananga, a Zulu English plea for Nelson Mandela's release. Apartheid police ban the song on radio. Bootleg cassette dubs spread instead. A former activist, now grandmother, recounts rewinding the tape at candle-lit safe houses, timing the volume knob with passing patrol cars. She smiles. That chorus was our password. Shift to Belfast, early 1970s. Irish rebel ballads drift from pubs, scented with spilled stout and fear. Sunday Bloody Sunday predates U2's Anthem. It's a folk lament carried by Tin Whistle and Bodhran. Political scientist Sinead Greer points to a lyrical trick, using the pronoun we without ever naming the Republic or the Crown. Ambiguity protects singers from sedition charges while still marking allegiance. Zoom across the Atlantic to Standing Rock, North Dakota, 2016. Lakota drummers encircle a sacred fire, their heartbeat rhythm streamed live on social media. Singer Frank Waln raps over cedar flute, lyrics denouncing pipelines slicing ancestral land. The feed garners millions of views. Donations surge. Technology turns campfire chants into planetary resonance, yet the pulse remains tribal. Ownership, DNA encoded. London, 2020, lockdown. Apartment windows open at dusk for weekly clap for carers. Saucepan percussion joins balcony saxophones, playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. A montage of phone recordings forms a patchwork anthem for a city under siege by an invisible enemy. Sociologist Kwame Akyampong calls it instant folklore, proof that national sentiment can coagulate in nanoseconds when survival is shared. Switch to Lagos, 2024. Afrobeats Star Thames premieres No Frontiers at Tafawa Balewa Square. The hook lifts a line from Fela Kuti's 1977 Colonial Mentality, but the groove adds UK grime snares and Atlanta-style 808s. Millions watch via VR headsets. Critic Funmi Adebayo explains how post-colonial identity now exports itself. Nigeria's sonic flag flutters in every global chart position. Thames occupies. We pause on a waveform plateau. Narrator poses a question. Is there a difference between patriotic music and nationalist music? A legal scholar answers while strolling through Vienna's Haus der Musik. Patriotism includes, nationalism excludes. Listen for whether a song opens a door or builds a wall. Audio examples crossfade. Woody Guthrie's inclusive This Land Is Your Land versus a 1930s propaganda march praising Blotton Boden. Back in the chamber, a vintage reel-to-reel machine plays 1947 Indian radio's first broadcast of Vande Mataram. Cut to 2021, farmers protesting in Punjab, blasting remix versions from tractor speakers. Each added dol beat thickens an old hymn into a rallying cry. Historian Amrita Singh notes, when legislation threatened livelihoods, farmers rewired a song praising the motherland into defense of the mother's soil itself. A detour to the Caribbean. Reggae's one-drop rhythm is dissected on a waveform grid. Kick drum on the third beat, snare ghost notes skipping like stones. Ethnomusicologist Roger Campbell overlays Bob Marley's Get Up, Stand Up vocals with images of 1976 election violence in Kingston. Campbell insists the sonic skip mirrors the political stutter of a nation struggling to finish the sentence, "We are free." Now to Kyiv, February 2022. As Russian missiles fall, folk rock band Daka Bracha broadcasts a rooftop concert. Their polyphonic wails fuse Ukrainian village chants with bass drum thunder. International news anchors replay the footage, inadvertently turning a fringe act into global counter-propaganda. Political analyst Oksana Shevchenko remarks, when governments fail to speak across borders, musicians often serve as translators of pain. The film breathes, then plunges into silence, a silence holding the weight of those not allowed to sing. A black screen lists censored artists, Iranian rapper Tumaj Salehi, Burmese punk band Rebel Riot, Saudi women's chorus Al-Meftaha. Their songs are blacked out, replaced by legal codes. The absence rings louder than any chord. Silence breaks with 19th century wax cylinder hiss. We hear Ainu chants from Hokkaido, the last surviving recordings before imperial assimilation policies banned the language. Miles away, contemporary artist Oki overlays those field recordings with Tonkari guitar, reviving identity through remix. He speaks on camera. A sample is a resurrection. The sound chamber's walls now pulse like a living organism. Narrator reflects. Music's role in forging and fracturing nations is less about melody than memory. It bookmarks trauma, triumph, and transition so that a people can scroll back when official archives are redacted. She pulls a vinyl from the shelf. No label, just a red X. It's time to hear what was never released. Stylus drops. An unidentified track emerges, minor key strings tangled with glitch beats, children reciting alphabets in 6 endangered languages. As the camera zooms into the vinyl's grooves, each ridge morphs into an aerial view of disputed borders glowing white-hot. A distant choir swells, no lyrics, only vowel shapes stretching like signal flares. The mix intensifies. Waveforms build a mountain range. We crest the summit, expecting resolution. Instead, the audio cuts mid-measure, replaced by an abrupt heart monitor flatline. The screen fades to black. A single line of text floats up. When a nation can no longer hear itself, who writes the next verse? Silence. A faint sub-bass rumbles, as if some hidden track is about to begin, then stops. Credits roll over the hush, leaving one question echoing in the viewer's chest. What anthem will tomorrow's rebels steal from our playlists? Want to see more? Scan the QR to join the community.